Hello everyone and welcome to the 23rd episode of the 8BritGameChat. I'm your host Tom Powter. Joining me is Tom Roach, Matt Stevens and Jared Rahman. Now one game we're extremely excited about this year is Star Wars Battlefield. I mean it's Battlefront, sorry. they look kind of similar. But it comes out in November and we are pretty hyped. We saw the first ever gameplay at E3 this year, and if you've seen our E3 videos, like a lot of you seem to have watched the Bethesda one, there was a lot of hype around Battlefront, and just today, time of recording, the alpha went live, and people have already started streaming it and getting in serious trouble for it. But you know, they're martyrs to us.
Yeah, which is funny in itself, but
yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so basically, this is going to be a Battlefront focused video where we're going to be talking about what we like so far, what we don't like, maybe what we hope to see, etc. So let's get the ball rolling then. What do we like so far about what we've seen of Star Wars Battlefront? Because we still haven't seen an awful lot.
it is Star Wars. No, I think they seem to be keeping true to the correct series, shall we say, of trilogies. But my God, does it look amazing!
Yeah, it does.
Beautiful, like graphics-wise.
It's a game that has benefited from not being developed for the last generation. If you need an advert for developing for this gen only, Battlefront is definitely one of them.
I'm very glad they haven't as well, because Battlefront's one of those games where they could get away with doing it for the last gen purely from a sales standpoint, because they know it would sell bucket loads.
But you know it would also look so much worse than it does.
Definitely, yeah.
So obviously we've seen two planets. We've seen, especially both in E3 and in the Alpha, we've seen Tatooine and Hoth.
Mm-hmm.
Now I must say, Tatooine, with the lighting through all those cliffs and mountains, the lighting does it, I think.
Yeah.
And that's especially with games in this area. It's the lighting, dynamic lighting, really.
Yeah.
Makes me
Well, I nerded out a lot during the E3 show, but like, for instance, on Hoth, the snow textures and everything just look. The game looks incredible. The light bouncing off his gun when he moves it that way, for example, and there's the shine down the barrel and everything like that.
They've put a lot of time in the basics, polishing it, making it look really good, and then kind of building from there.
Yeah.
The graphics just breathtaking. It is like a movie. I think I've seen the Tatooine Alpha stuff. Obviously it's a video game and it's animated, but it looks like it could be from a movie.
Well, that's the main
The thing is, I don't know how much you know about what they did with this, but they went and photographed all the props.
Yeah.
And they did full 360-degree shots of all the props, and literally all the
just
skins, all the textures are photos.
Yeah.
Well, that's definitely
whatever word they made up for it, but it's
I
all
have
literally
it's
the
paid off
original.
100%.
Yeah.
The thing is, I completely agree. Take for example the Tatooine bit that we've seen, when he's got like his little pistol out and there are just a couple of stormtroopers in front of him. It looks like it's out of the film.
It just looks really authentic. I think that's the key word.
And and then you've got like when you hit them, obviously since it's lasers, you've got all sparks flying off and it's like all the particle effects and everything going on. And again, because it's lasers, that's more lighting. Basically, all the bullets are now light effects on this game. So that's freaking awesome. I've kind of got to the point now though, and it's funny saying this since we only saw gameplay like not even a month ago, but I want to see more different stuff.
Just because we've seen the same stuff twice.
I think I agree with you there. I want to start seeing these other planets.
Well,
I get why they haven't though. I totally get
I
why
get
they
it,
haven't.
because they haven't got that many plans to start with.
But they've shown two off, they don't want to show the other two.
No, but I tell you what they should do, because they've got the other two. No one knows anything about Silas, it was never in the film, so they could get away with showing what they wanted there. But for Endor, they should show not to the obvious classic one. Because there's 3 maps per planet, right?
Yeah.
So they could show us not the obvious map that we've seen in the trailer before the Star Wars
let's face it, if we do see that before it comes out, that's what we'll see.
There'll be speeders racing through the trees.
Yeah,
exactly, because that's what people want to see.
Yeah.
I think we've seen a little bit of that, but not all of them.
Well, it was just render, wasn't it? Wasn't
more render,
I think if there's like 3 maps for each planet, like we've seen Tatooine, in the old games we had 2 per planet, I think, but there was more planets. But I think we're going to be surprised. We're going to see parts of Endor and Hoth. I mean, Hoth is just this barren snow, but I think they're really going to give the maps character.
I'm just curious to see what they do with the others, actually.
Yeah, same.
I want to see what maps, like the type of maps, because And actually, I think we were talking about this earlier. With Endor, for example, there's a lot of difficulty when you come to aerial stuff because
It being a
there's
forest.
fucking big trees.
Yeah.
So they're gonna, if they want to have aerial combat in Endor, they're gonna have some spaces that are a little bit more open somehow.
If there's a dev I trust giving, a good variety of maps in the same location, though, it is DICE.
Oh, of course
like
it is
DICE a lot.
DICE.
Yeah, no, I do really like. Yeah, but if you look at like Battlefield 4's maps, they're really, really varied. Just the original 10. So I think these they will come up with a really good variety.
I have a lot of faith
in
as well.
in
Yes. Yeah. Just based on the graphics so far, I really want to see Endor. Just because Endor's going to be.
Well, you'll get. I really hope you can see proper razor light.
You'll get all that. I think. Yeah, and then all the shadows on the floor.
I do think, like, comparing the gameplay we've got to the render that we had, there's an awful lot of not much difference. Yeah. Which is really impressive.
Well, I think that's part of the reason why they held back the gameplay for so long was because they knew it was good. And everyone, it's EA, so fair enough if you don't quite trust them. And everyone was like, it's not going to be as good as that fucking that cutscene they showed us. That's just, and then when we saw it,
and then it was.
Then we saw it at E3, and they were like, this is on the PlayStation 4 right now, and it was like, it's not bad. And it was like, holy shit.
So this isn't even a finished product. So.
Yeah, exactly. They'll put lots of finishing touches on it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
We were talking about Sullust quickly. All they've shown so far is basically like a background for a computer you can download, and it's basically TIE fighters flying over what looks like a totally barren kind of but mechanical wasteland.
I've seen that one, yeah.
So that interests me because Hoth and Sullust, at least the two bits we've seen so far, look relatively similar in the fact that they're open and they look like good for dogfighting. Yeah. Whereas all we've seen of Tatooine so far doesn't strike me as much of an area.
And obviously with Endor.
And with Endor, they're both like infantry-based maps, I think. So maybe they might go like that, but I personally believe they will try and put aerial type maps on Endor, infantry type only maps on Hoth, sort of thing.
Mix
it up only, but maybe
but like advantageous to that sort of thing. Yeah. So we will talk about, before we move on, let's go into kind of more, because we've talked a hell of a lot about the graphics, which is fair enough. Gameplay specifics, how do we think it looks so far?
Well, I mean...
You can see who it's made by.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can see that it is Battlefield-y. Battlefield-esque, I'm going to say. Because it's not... And,
it's no bad thing either.
It's no bad thing, no, not at all. To be honest, if it was Battlefield with a Star Wars skin, I would have been happy at the end of the day. Funnily enough, it's not, and they've actually said that it's not. So I think they were saying, was it destructible environments it's not going to have?
Which is a shame.
Which is a shame, because that's,
I can kind of understand the logic, because like, with lasers rather than bullets, it's slightly more difficult.
Well, let's have a look, let's face it, look at the maps we've seen so far, we don't have big buildings or anything like that.
Yeah, what
could be destructible?
The only map I could think they could do is on Tatooine and ruin Mos Eisley, maybe, but
Endor, you could bring trees down.
But then you destroy the beauty of the map if you destroy
in fairness, bringing trees down that finally suddenly becomes very complicated in terms of So there was three things they said you're not going to have. Squads.
Which again is a shame. I
think that's a bit of a shame. Yeah.
Because you want to party up with people. Granted, you'll still be able to party up with people and go with people.
But I like being able to respawn on my mates.
I thought that was a really good feature actually on Battlefield 4.
Spawning on people is really good.
And spawning in a vehicle, because if your mates have got one, it means you can hop straight into that, for example.
There may be other mechanics to do with that.
Yeah, true.
That haven't been revealed.
I haven't seen it. You do know there is a partner system. I don't know how it quite works, but on the Hoth video, one of them anyway, a guy who spawned on his partner, so maybe it's just you go around in pairs.
Yeah, I mean that, and
obviously, if we're all playing together, we had to walk around together if you are inclined. But you're right. It's a partner system as far as I know. Yeah. But they still haven't really got into it anymore.
No,
they're currently wowing us with trailers.
Yeah, of course. And the last thing that they said isn't going to be is customized loadout.
Yeah.
Now, what I think we have been thinking is that there's going to be a it's a minimal customization. It's not going to be weapon loadouts instead, like different types of weapon attachments, things like that.
Oh yeah, well, none of that exists in the Star Wars universe.
Honestly, I'm fine with that. Not that there.
As long as I can choose what kind of weapon I have.
Exactly. You're going to choose the type of weapon. You'll choose what sort of grenade probably.
Yeah. You'll pick the 2 primaries.
2 perks or whatever. But I mean, you go around and pick things up as well.
Yeah, that's interesting. They're like items, which is odd.
I'm not sold on it yet.
Yeah, I'm not sold on that either. But if you've played another of EA's popular shooters, Plants vs Zombies, and it might be an odd comparison to make, but actually this feature is very similar. On Plants vs Zombies, you have 3 perks on your character, and the same appears to be the same. Obviously, like on Plants vs Zombies, it's class based, so those perks are fixed. Well, it doesn't seem to be that way. You just pick 3 items essentially to use. It's actually might be 4. I think I thought in the video.
In fairness, it might be
one of the central.
It might be fixed to the weapon. In fairness,
maybe, but I think at least on the Tatooine one, but then that could be different again because it's a
mission.
But at least on the Tatooine one, he chooses to pick the ion rocket launcher thing, which then fires the ATST.
Yeah.
But before this video, we were going really in depth about certain things. So like, obviously they don't use bullets in this. How do we think that's going to change things up a bit? Like, if you've seen the videos and you've looked at it, like we have, there's not a whole lot of recoil going on.
No.
There's not a whole lot of
having to reload.
Yeah, having to reload. That was it. Yeah, and you were saying about suppression as well.
Yeah. The light suppression's going to be.
And I imagine sniping is not going to be like Battlefield was, where you got to control it.
Well,
It will still sniping will still play a part. It will be.
Oh yeah.
I think it'll be less important though.
It'll be much more easy.
You can't keep someone pinned down and then snipe them.
Maybe I don't know.
But with this,
I'm not sure about that.
Do you think that people will, because they're so used to like COD and Battlefield, that the fact that they don't have to reload, do you think this is going to like play to people's advantage, but it's also going to like screw over a lot of players?
People that play well will be good because they won't have to reload, but everyone else will overheat the weapon.
Exactly.
So that's the thing. The reloading mechanics actually overheating.
Yeah.
Which actually, Call of Duty in Advanced Warfare has overheating weapons and stuff like that. So people will be used to that mechanic of overheating weapons that overheat.
Yeah.
There's actually many Star Wars games previously that overheat.
Yeah. I think any kind of sci-fi game has that.
Yeah.
Overheating is a mechanic people will be used to. I think.
Yeah. Yeah. The only difference here is it's your primary weapons.
Yeah.
I like that. But again, people will get used to it quickly.
Yeah, you'll just treat it as reloading.
Suck. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be one of the two. But yeah, no, I think sniping was a big deal in Battlefield 4. Like, you could get yourself up, say for example on Zavod.
Yeah,
you could get yourself up on top of the building.
I was quite a big sniper from him, rightly.
Yeah. Yeah, and the thing with Battlefield 4, which I think might be similar on Battlefront, map dependent, is that people would like go and make themselves prone, like off on the side of the map.
And just keep shooting.
Yeah.
So,
but on this, because you will see the laser bolt, that's going to be less advantageous.
Yeah.
Sniping will still play a big part, and I think sniping will still play the part of sniping. Penning people down and stuff. It's going to be harder it's going to be both easier and harder for the sniper in different ways.
Is out of the question if you can.
Yeah.
But that's a good thing because you hate people.
People will be able to see where the bullets are coming from.
Camping's never been that easy in Battlefield, though, I don't think.
Call of Duty, it's been done. But
Call of Duty is the home of camping.
Yeah. But obviously, it's going to be easier for the person sniping because they might have that breath system that they.
I reckon they will.
Maybe.
I reckon they will.
Steadying it,
Possibly, because that's not about the gun.
Yeah,
that's holding it.
And it's still effectively a humanoid doing it.
Yeah. It'd probably be easier to aim.
The only thing you said they won't have to worry about is like wind.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about the physics because it's a laser. You don't have to worry about bullet drop or anything.
And it's so much easier for them to do as well.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we've talked a lot then about what we've already seen, which admittedly is not a lot. We want to see more. So what would you all say you want to see in this game? And you will be disappointed if it's not there.
Yeah. So there's one thing.
Was there stuff I want to see that I know is coming, or just I have literally no idea?
No, you don't know it's coming.
Okay, surprised.
Yeah. So there's one thing that, and this is actually relating on something I actually did see. there was a power up where this guy picked up power up, which was X-wing, and all he did was jump in the X-wing, and suddenly he was flying it. I want to see.
Weird.
Yeah, to me that's just like it
That's a bit
takes away from the seamlessness of jumping in a aircraft and taking.
That's such a novelty as well.
Yeah. So I would like to see X-wings and air vehicles that you can literally jump in on the ground, take off and fly off.
Like in Battlefield 4.
Like in the original Battlefield, because that's what we were expecting. Because that's what is the core of it.
Yeah.
And even in Battlefronts, that was one of the main cores of doing that.
Yeah.
So I want to see, jumping into those vehicles that aren't just power-ups.
Yeah, I don't want it to be a power-up
No,
at all.
exactly.
Because also then it's like, you're not necessarily then making, because you'll just go over to, you see a power-up and you'll grab it, you're not necessarily then making an active choice, I want to be a pilot because I'm good at doing that. You're going to end up with really shit people doing it, and then you'll lose.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's back in Battlefield, like, that's what I would do. I basically was a helicopter pilot. That's how I played the game.
Yeah,
you made an active choice to want to do it. Yeah, I think it should be the same.
Yeah.
I think it might be, certainly with the speeders, I think it was more of an active choice. For the Hoth bit. Like, the X-Wings are a power-up, I reckon the speeders, to take down the AT-80.
Well, yeah, that has to.
Yeah,
you have to just be able to jump in. Otherwise, you have to wait for a power-up.
Exactly, which would suck.
Yeah.
Unless they go, right, you're the best 3 on the leaderboard, you can do it, or something
Either
like
that, or they have the three power-ups just in front of you when you spawn. That
would be awful as well.
Yeah, that's rubbish. I wouldn't like that at all.
No.
Honestly, thinking about it though, I don't think that'll be. I think that'll be
No,
on the map.
Hopefully.
At least to start with, that'll be at the base.
Yeah. I think it might also be maybe map dependent, sort of how it works.
Maybe.
Yeah, possibly. I think the issue with having power-ups is obviously there's probably not be that many on the map.
No.
Just vehicle power-ups I'm talking about. So pretty much you are going to get people just rush for that straight away. If that's the only way of getting into at least an aerial vehicle.
Yeah.
Which is going to suck.
Yeah,
it's rubbish. I can't remember if I saw anyone jump in the... Did we see anyone actually jump into the AT-80?
Well, now
we saw that at E3.
We saw a clip to that. We didn't see anyone jump
it. It just swapped to the player.
I reckon you can choose. You just spawn in it.
Yeah.
Certainly. Yeah. Now that I think about it, there is a big NeoGAF thread for Battlefront, isn't there?
Yes.
Yeah. I need to have a read of that because almost certainly someone will say if you can jump in there.
I've looked through. I've not looked through it deeply, but I've looked through and seen some of the weapons and the vehicles that they do.
There are a lot.
Again, there are quite a lot. Actually, funnily enough, I recognise the majority of the guns because they've actually popped up in previous Star Wars games, which I thought was cool. They're actually being really faithful to it. But some of the ships that are there, now the ones I thought were quite interesting was stuff like Home One, which is
Akbar's
Akbar's ship.
I don't
a lot
believe
of those big ships.
Home One is playable though.
No, that's just going to be like a Star Destroyer.
Yeah, it will probably be. Like it's up there, and you can call down the
orbital barrage.
Yeah, that's the one.
Or I mean, I'll tell you one
interesting
thing.
that they picked up.
One thing we haven't considered actually. Not every map on Battlefield 4 starts with you on the ground.
You parachute.
You're on the
carriers.
The carriers on the sea. What if it's similar? What if, say, I don't know, Home One or like a Super Star Destroyer, you all start in there. I mean, just because there's not space battles doesn't mean they can't be hovering over this, say it's a massive Sullust map.
Yeah. They can't be at each end.
Yeah, the fact is we have barely seen any maps. One of these Sullust or any map can be absolutely fucking huge as far as we're concerned.
Well, we know that there is going, and we haven't seen it yet. There is a mode that is just aerial combat.
Yeah, you're right.
And it could work. It could work in something like that. We don't, and they've already said we're not going to show.
That's the thing. That would be their way of pleasing those people who love these.
That's one of the things that I really wanted. So that mode's going to be important for me.
But just having a map like that where you still have those two ships, and maybe you could even take those ships down.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what would happen.
The mechanics of those space battles.
Winning would not. You watch the ship get destroyed or something like that.
Yeah. And you could take over massive turrets on the ground to take them out and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's more what I was talking about. Is that those ships are there And then obviously there's the aerial fights, but like Paracel Storm, there's still a map to fight on. But if you're an infantry
there's still tiles to pick up. There's still tactical.
That would be great. It's ambitious, so I'm not sure whether they'll have done it, but it would be very good.
I mean, Paracel Storm is basically the same idea.
I don't reckon it's too unrealistic, because actually, if you think about it, they have 4 planets, a few maps for each planet.
3 each, yeah.
3 each.
Yeah.
And that's all they're developing, and a couple of missions, basically, for each map. They're going to be putting in work, probably, into these maps, because if they don't make these maps unbelievably amazing, it becomes a bit small.
I agree, the maps are pretty much key, actually.
I think they're going to have thought about this.
Where they've got wiggle room is solid, because we've never ever seen it.
Yeah.
So they've got wiggle room there. The others, at least because we've seen it, they've got to kind of do classic stuff, haven't they?
Well, I mean, like, we've already seen Hoth that map on Hoth obviously has its own target to do. You know, you're taking down the AT-ATs or you're
destroying the base.
The thing is, that's a specific mode as well, Walker Assault.
Yeah,
so that makes me wonder if that Hoth map is only accessible on that mode.
I bet it's not.
I reckon you'll still be able to fight on it. And
it'll just work differently. The AT-ATs may never be there.
Rather than
the AT-AT building and stuff. Yeah.
Because I mean, there might be Walker Assaults on other things as well.
Well, there is on Endor. There's one.
Yeah, because they bring the Y-wing bombers to take out.
Exactly.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
So Walker Assault will still be a big part on every map, probably.
I bet it's only on a couple of maps. I bet they don't design it for all of them, because they're going to have big maps and small maps, and it won't be on small ones.
Well, that's actually just made me think of something. Walker Assault on Endor. How are they going to do it? The map's got to be huge.
Nah, we've already seen what it looked like. There's a narrow path in between trees.
Is that it? So there's the AT-ATs walking through a path between trees?
We didn't see what it was going to, but we saw that in the render, the Star Wars experience.
There will probably be...
I mean, they blew the shit out of it.
There's not going to be just one AT-AT. There'll probably be multiple rails that they'll go through.
I was more thinking along the lines of the particular Endor map. It would have to be like relatively open, otherwise the AT-AT is going to have to smash the trees.
No, because
that's a lot of problem.
No, it's literally just a path through the trees.
Kind of
the only problem with that is, on Endor, what's their end game needed? What the AT-ATs need to do?
Because the Ewoks Ewoks are in the game apparently, that's confirmed. You can't kill them though.
Yeah, they're just there. They'll do things that probably trigger traps or stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh my god, what if the little Ewok bloke is one of the heroes?
It's not Wicket.
Wicket, that's the one, yeah.
It's not going to be.
No.
That would be terrible, because he can't do shit.
At the hero.
You can throw a stone at an AT-ST and take it out.
Yeah, but if Darth Vader rocks up, you are super fucked.
You can get a big stick and knock his legs over.
You could kill the Walks in Battlefront 2.
Yeah, but Battlefront 2 had that worked by some planets had a race that lived there and they helped you.
Yeah.
Depending on which faction you were.
Yeah.
Didn't they? Was it Jawas or Tusken Raiders?
Tatooine.
There was another. It wasn't
Tusken Raiders. I think they're both there, actually, depending on what map.
But there was another map where there were NPCs that helped Gungans. That was it.
Naboo,
yeah. Naboo. How did you get Tatooine and Naboo mixed up?
No, I just can't remember.
Yeah, no, the Gungans obviously were useless. Well, yeah, that shit. But
that's beside the point.
Yeah. So, Jared, what do you want to see?
It's all to do with the vehicular stuff for me, I think. We know it's coming, but I want to see the aerial stuff. I want to see how that works, because I think that's going to be quite important. But also, we've seen a bit of someone in an AT-AT, for example. But I want to see what it's like when you jump in maybe an AT-ST or a rebel tank or whatever, because that's one of the best things I think about the big battlefield maps, was where you'd have just vehicular warfare, tank on tank, and I kind of want to see. I just quite like to see that.
Yeah.
Because the maps we've seen so far wouldn't really let it play out. So I want to see whether we're going to get an aspect of that or not.
Yeah.
Because it's not really in the series, the film.
Exactly, yeah, that's the thing.
So whether it actually exists or not.
It's mostly it's entirely dogfighting, to be honest. The thing is, the Rebels don't really have, unless I'm completely forgetting, an equivalent of the ATS.
They do, it's just not in the films. It's in the expanded universe they have stuff.
So therefore it's not about.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that makes things a bit more difficult because literally all we've seen so far is infantry versus vehicles.
Yeah.
And obviously dogfights. So I'm not sure what they're going to do in regards to that.
I think that might have to wait
Yeah.
until, and I think they'll do it. I might have to wait for that until they bring in the prequel stuff, which I think they'll do at some point. I have to pay
they will
for
as
it
well.
In fairness, though,
because that is an open conflict. You get
you're saying that, but they're bringing in places like Celeste.
Yeah, that's true.
So-
Yeah, but at
Same time.
least we see Celestians in
of course.
6.
No, of course, but
I forgot what the guy's
I
name is
reckon
now, but he's
they
back next
will.
village.
No, they will probably have some vehicle for the rebels because they're not gonna. It's so unbalanced if they don't have something.
Yeah, it is unbalanced, you're right. Again, though, the only mode we've seen is Walker Assault, and that's the entire point of that mode is the Empire is throwing everything
Yeah,
at us.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Um,
And to be fair, you say it's unbalanced, but it's not that unbalanced because all the rebels have, all of them seem to have rockets and stuff. So you can
Yeah,
easily
you
wipe
fit
them
only
out.
seems to take about 2 rocket shots to take out an ATST.
Of course.
But
It depends. Yeah.
To be fair, the Star Wars universe, the Galactic Civil War was asymmetric. So
Yeah,
if the
very
combat
true.
is asymmetric, it's not necessarily that wrong.
I think that's what they're trying to get across, at least in Walker Assault.
Yeah.
is that, the
It's meant
Empire
to
is
be
massively
asymmetric.
overpowered.
Yeah. And somehow still loses.
Yeah. Well, for me, what I want to see most, and this is pretty broad, is variety. I want
That's
a
important.
big variety
That's
of
big,
game
yeah.
modes.
Yeah, that's really important.
Game modes is the most important one for me, I think.
That's what killed something like Evolve, for example.
Yeah.
It was too narrow. You only play one.
You're almost certainly going to get your team deathmatch.
Yeah, guaranteed.
This Walker Assault one sounds interesting.
There'll be a capture the flag.
Capture the flag or King the Hill. Hopefully both.
I reckon
I hope
it's
both.
more likely King of the Hill, but they could be both.
I tell you what, Capture the Flag would be fucking awesome on Endor. Imagine grabbing the flag,
Like, get on
having your
speeder and
and
just
blasting
go,
off,
yeah.
That sounds great. Weaving through the trees is like you got a couple of Imperials.
And then you've got 2
guys.
guys on speeders behind
Yeah.
you trying to get. Yeah, that'd be really cool.
So different game modes, but then maybe some more unique ones. Like Walker Assault sounds pretty good so far. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not that unique in the grand scheme of things, but they've twisted it to make it a Star Wars mode.
Yeah.
So I want to see more of that, and then variety of maps. That's really important as well.
Map variety is probably one of the biggest things. Definitely.
Yeah.
Actually, I quite like to see variety in what you can play as.
Yeah.
So I don't want it just to be 20 on 20
Yeah.
guys with effectively assault rifles.
What we've
That'll get boring.
weapon variety is another thing I was going to say. Yeah, because so far all we've pretty much seen is the small pistol and then two variations of basically the same gun.
Yeah, I'm sure the list shows a lot of
Yeah.
weapons, but it's whether anyone actually uses most of them, which
Yeah.
would be a bit.
I think the carbine's the D720A.
Well-
Someone will know that.
Yeah.
I know someone watching will know if I'm right or not. But yeah.
Talking about character variety, obviously we've seen a lot. You've got snowtroopers, regular stormtroopers, at least for the Imperial side, and then on the Rebels, you've got your basic humans. Then there appear to be like aliens you can play as well. Like I think there's the Greedo race, whatever race Greedo was. And they don't seem to wear helmets, which I think is interesting. And in the E3 trailer, you see someone playing as the guy who flies alongside Lando.
Yes,
Six.
that's a Celestian.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, you can play as those as well.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if maybe you pick a race at the start of the game, or if you can change it up each
may-
one.
Well, I'll tell you what they'll do.
You may be able to
Today.
play as you'll be able to play as a human, obviously,
Yeah.
and Celestian, but then you probably be able to do it Mon Calamari, a Bofan,
Yeah, yeah.
I'll tell you.
Twi'lek.
I'll tell you how they'll do it. And this is if they do it like they did on Battlefront 2, is there's going to be weapon customization, but there'll still be sort of classes.
Yeah.
And some of the classes, certainly in the old Battlefront games, were certain races.
Yeah.
For the Rebels anyway, so they might just do it like that.
They might
Possibly,
do.
yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, they have Bofans as spies and things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Many Bofans have died.
Someone does mention the Bothans in that Hoth leaked video, but I'm not really entirely sure the context was.
Yeah.
But yeah, they might do the class-based thing, or I'm thinking more along the lines of they give you a rebel guy and an imperial guy, and you can pretty much customize them however you want. And
That was what I was hoping for.
Could do
I
that.
would like that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I'd like that too.
The thing is, the customization of loadout thing that maybe makes me think, will they do that?
Well, I'm pretty sure
You're allowed to do a bit.
it's been
Of course,
confirmed
yeah, no,
that
yeah.
there is some character customization, at least where
Okay.
stormtroopers are concerned,
Okay. Well,
which makes me think it'll be the rest of them as well.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to because I want to be like I might want to be a stormtrooper. Like when you watch the Horde mode, what was it called? A survival.
Survival,
Yeah. Like, you see the different kinds of stormtroopers coming at you, therefore you should be able to, because they exist in the game, at least make your armor look like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Look like a scout trooper or a
change your armor,
stormtrooper or
probably
a
slap
shot.
some like paint or whatever the hell on you.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, so variety is key for me because I want to be playing this game for a long time.
Yeah.
Because I think it's looking absolutely incredible. Well, that's that for our Battlefront special, guys. Let us know in the comments below if you're excited for Star Wars Battlefront, just like we are. But that's pretty much it for us. Make sure to subscribe to our videos and keep coming back for more content. We did give Battlefront pretty much our second place Game of the Show award at E3, so you know it's going to be big. So you really should get excited for this game because it's looking pretty great.
Yeah, you better.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it from us, guys. Until then, goodbye.